economy from those who rigged it. As I see it, class warfare, the only resort to right wing doom. It's worth it. How to talk to your right wing relatives, friends, and neighbors, and other books written by Egberto Willis. Welcome to Politics Done Right. My name is Egberto Willis, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas. Good morning to the United States of America. Good morning to the entire world receiving our signals via the magic of El Internet. Created by whom again? Created by we the people and formerly known as ARPANET. Anyway, folks, we are going to have a great program for you today. It's the day after the State of the Union. The day after the State of the Union. Why did I watch the State of the Union? Well, you know what's the truth, guys? I watch it so that you wouldn't have to watch the State of the Union. But it was tough. It was tough. Simply the magnitude of lying. But you know what? Out of all of that, I did get something. I prepared a video for you because there is something that I got out of that we all should have gotten out of that. But before and without further ado, let's head off to the El Estudio with Los Genios, the geniuses, also known as Jacques Van Bebber and Mayana. Buenos dias, mi gente.
Good morning, Mayana. How are you?
Morning, Jack. I
All
sound
right.
crazy. Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Berto. Did
That
you
was funny.
Must have been the drive-in.
Yeah.
For a minute, I thought, you know, when you inhale, when you have those balloons filled with helium and you inhale it and the density of the thing makes your tone go up. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. I know. I heard it and I was like, what the world? What happened to my voice?
how you doing, guys?
We're good. We're
Good.
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 Thank
Talk
you.
to me.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm glad you watched it for us. Okay. Today's program exposes a coordinated shift in power. A coordinated shift in power and policy that affects every working household in America. The State of the Union revealed a plan to fund the government through tariffs rather than progressive taxation, effectively taxing consumers at the checkout line. A former MAGA insider admitted the movement specifically transformed the Republican Party into the vehicle of personal loyalty. Meanwhile, a new economic report warns that the 2025 Republican budget will accelerate inequality at historic levels. These stories connect. They form a blueprint for shifting wealth upward and consolidating political power.
Man,
Yes, it
sad state of
does.
affairs.
Yes, it does. Anyway, how you doing, Jack? What do you
Thank you,
have?
Tony.
What you
I've
got
got,
for me,
I've
my
got,
man?
I've got a little response to that, and it's about what are the people going to do to take responsibility for this. The American citizen has a few decisions to make about their future and the future path of America. Are we the people going to lay down and allow the wealthy to rule over us, or are we the people going to make a fight and stop the fascist takeover of our government, facilitated by the GOP and the neoliberal Democrats? They have turned you, the citizen, into a mindless consumer that has been spoiled by all the products they import from the factories they shipped overseas to increase their profits. The wealthy are simply exploiting you, the citizen consumer, as you buy not for your needs but for your wants and desires. In this condition, the wealthy own you. You are their slaves to consumption. You are powerless as a consumer. Turn the page. So, cut off the chains of consumer consumption, reclaim your rights as a citizen, realize the harm you have done to yourselves and Mother Earth, take responsibility for this truth, and act more responsibly when you consume. Become more ecologically aware of the harm we are doing to the planet, and above all, Respect yourself.
I love
Respect
that.
yourself.
I love that. I love that. And you touch on something that I am going to have to expand on later after we speak to Sandy. But before I get to Sandy, I want to give Jimmy Dunn, and Jimmy Dunn is a good friend of mine with from HPJC Houston Peace and Justice Center. And folks, if you don't know what Houston Peace and Justice Center, it's another good 501c3 out there. We're doing a lot of work and put in to getting all these different uh, activist organizations together and getting stuff done. So I want to give a big shout out to Jimmy. He made us whole yesterday for your great contribution. I also see my brother Dr. Eric Lulov in the chat. I want to thank you so kindly for being a great supporter of Politics Done Right, my dear brother from another mother out there in Florida. And it seems like we have the first person to thank this morning with a contributor, Susan, out of, I don't see a city, state here for Susan, but, oh yeah, there it is, out of Houston, Texas. My eyes just kind of went crazy. But look here, we got a lot to talk about. Hey, I hear you, Eric, about Dr. Lulov, about, what kind of a show we had. I hope you can stick around long enough for the video. I'm going to play after Sandy because I want you guys to check that out. Sandy, how you doing this morning? General Manager of KPFT.
Hey, thanks, Egberto. Thanks, everybody, for being there. Thanks, everybody that's listening for taking time to tune into Egberto's program. We are indeed in Fund Drive. This marks the end of week number 2, day 14. Susan got us off to the start we have. We have a $500 goal, and you can chime in, 5 or 10 bucks a month. 5 of you doing $10 a month, we're over the goal. It's that easy. We begin today with 753 total contributions, acts of kindness, and the total that we have on the board is $120,220. We had a very good day yesterday catching up with the paperwork from the weekend and on Monday, and yesterday's total was over $11,000, which is rather astounding for KPFT on any old Tuesday. So thanks everybody for stepping up and getting us to where we are. We're coming down the home stretch. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. Don't forget our vintage t-shirt from the 1980s with the galaxy with a little arrow that says, "You are here." Well, we are here. Where the hell we are? Get the t-shirt. It'll point in the right direction. And the reason for Radio Pacifica. Let's see if we can make our goal today and get off to a good start here on the 14th day of our winter fund drive. Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. As Sandy has always said, he's been saying that from the beginning of the fund
Go
drive.
ahead,
It takes
Sandy.
us $60,000 a month to operate. Actually, uh, we need a bit more than that if we count that we have some capital costs that we really need to start investing in generators at the antenna, generators for the studio, the right kind of generators for the studio, etc. But again, we're doing great and having a great a great great cadre supporters like we have from all of you. And I'm looking at the chat, and as I'm looking at the Substack chat and just looking at supporter after supporter after supporter, it just makes your heart melt. Thank you guys. You guys are heroes of support for our democracy, and I don't say that facetious. I really mean that. We are one of the last, not the only, but one of the last best stuff. I was talking to a few people yesterday about how do we further expand the media platform, the independent media platform. Great ideas we'll be coming out with later on. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Uh, Jack, I love what you had to say, and you know what? There's a sentence in there that I wanted to expand on, and I didn't write the darn thing down, and it's not going to come to me until after the video. So let me play the video, and welcome Cheryl, welcome Dr. Eric Lalab, welcome Morning Estedion, Rosalinda, Ryan. We got Lynette. Morning, how you doing, beautiful? We also have Darlene, Joan from Los Angeles, California. We've got Michael Collette. We've got can't get to all of you. Jane B in North Carolina. How you doing, Jane B? We also have Judy Wilson, Kat, uh, and quite a few more that I can't get to. And don't forget, I missed the first few dozen because of the way this stuff works. I was about to say, but we don't have any teachers in the chat. And then who shows up? Two teachers right away. LBW, teaching high school English, keep moving knowledge forward. And Jacqueline Campisi out of Katy, Texas, I believe. And of course, my regular MAGA. And I want you to give a comment about what you thought about the speech. How do you feel that speech spoke to you, brother Lee the Beercat, my MAGA guy in Austin? I generally want to know how that speech came across to you, because I want to address that. I know how it came across to most of the country. I want to know how it came across to somebody that, have your frame of thinking. Anyway, let's go to the video and then we'll go ahead and continue this. Don't forget though, please, we're still in Fund Drive. We are about $488 away from our goal. $488 away from our goal. So call 713-526-5738, 713-526-5738. And please start donating early so that I can get more of the stuff that I prepared into the program. I ask you so kindly, 713-526-5738, or go to kpft.org, kpft.org, hit that donate button, select Politics and Rad as a program you're supporting, and give whatever you can. Don't forget, we're still offering Coffee with Egberto, and that is a $250 contribution. Sandy is trying to get us a whole lot more $5 and $10 a month memberships, sustainers, that he can actually do the budget in the kind of ways to, get things going. Anyway, here's the video. I must admit, watching the State of the Union was very, very painful. But you know what? There was one nugget that came out that I think was very, very important. First of all, let me tell you, 99.9% of everything that you heard were things that he bloviated about in his press conferences, as he spoke on Truth Social, etc. But here's the thing. We all know that most of what this president does is lie or misrepresent or hate or display an extreme sense of all the isms. But again, there was one important thing he said, and this has to do with his obsession with tariffs. And I'm going to tell you something. Last week, I was on We Decide with Jenna Flanagan on WBAI, and she asked the question, why is the president so obsessed with tariffs? I want to play that short snippet so that you can hear what I said. Then I'm going to let me play that and then I'll get back to you.
And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
Now, so what I said is pretty much the president is trying to lay the groundwork for us to get rid of the income tax and have a tax on everybody. No progressive type tax, but a tax that simply everybody pays by buying products, period. And by the way, for this to work, right, you have to ensure, he always talked about, I tell you what, let me play what the president said, and then we'll come back.
Why do you think, I should say, that tariffs are so central to the president's agenda? I mean, it seems like one of the few things that he's really, really fixated on.
He wants to use the tariff as a cudgel, but also he wants to normalize these regressive taxes. In other words, we know that this is a sales tax. If people get used to having these regressive taxes, they can actually slowly get rid of the income tax, and his people, the billionaires, will be very happy because look how much you can collect by just saying it's like a VAT tax on what the Europeans use, a VAT tax on all the poor, all the Walmart shoppers, and everybody else. This is all from the bad book, Project 2025. These are very good things that these guys think about to get what they want. And that is, again, get rid of taxes for the wealthy. And I know it's cliche, but it is true. So there you go. The president fesses up. I want these tariffs so that ultimately I can get rid of the income tax. And he lies to you, telling you that it's these foreign companies and foreign countries that are paying the tax. No, it's not. It is you, America. Each of you, your tax rates just went through the roof because his idea is to get rid of the income tax and run it with these taxes. But it's predicated on something that every economist would have to tell you, and sadly, nobody said. You usually put tariffs on products to protect your industry and to allow more of that manufacturing that were tariffed back into your country. That's why you do it. And as that manufacture comes back to your country, that tariff goes away because, again, the manufacturing is occurring in your country. So the idea that you're going to use tariffs to eliminate income taxes makes no sense if the reason you told America you're putting tariffs on was to bring back industry to the United States. You don't want industry back in the United States because you want to tariff Americans so that you can get rid of the income tax. You see the hoodwink that he's trying to pull on America. Oh, tariffs are going to pay for taxes, and we want to eliminate the income tax by tariffs, and the foreigners are going to pay for it. It's all a lie. But that's the only thing that this State of the Union was worth watching for, to see exactly what is his obsession with tariffs. Everything else was just hogwash, theater, nothing more. Hogwash, theater, nothing more. Jacqueline Campisi, la profesora, says, I yelled at the TV several times. Man, I didn't even have the energy to yell. By the way, you know how I stitch all these videos together to come up with the actual thing, right? I know all of you by now realize that I had the clips reversed, but I know you still got it. I'll clean that up after the program. But I'm sitting down there like, well, I didn't put that together till 12:30 this morning, so I didn't go ahead and play the whole thing through after stitching all these things together. So forgive the mistake, but you get the picture that I was trying to get out there. Anyway, so yeah, it is important. That's the only thing I got out of the speech. Now, there's a part of the speech that he gave that I wasn't surprised about at all. But what I was surprised about is what occurred on CNN, and it was too late for me to. It was that CNN segment lasted through two segments, so it was about 15 minutes long, where they include commercials and all of that. And I want to get it down to something like 6 or 7 minutes. But let me tell you what I'm going to tell you about it, and then some other time I'm going to bring the piece up. You know how he went on the attack on the Somalis, right? And about how evil they are, how they stole X amount of dollars from by creating these daycare stuff and in Minnesota and all that kind of stuff. And he inherently tried to make it seem like, there was something inherently wrong with Somalians that come over here and commit these frauds. I want you guys to notice something, however. This stuff about Somali fraud is hogwash, right? Fraud is committed by everybody. In fact, Our biggest fraudster right now is our president, Donald Trump. He's made billions of dollars being based on the power he has as president of the United States. His capitalism is the second, well, actually, it is the largest fraudster, bar none. And anybody wants to discuss that, I'll be happy to have a civil conversation about that. But capitalism is the biggest fraudster on the American people, on the people of the world, if you will. Whenever we decom de cut ourselves from the chains in our minds, it is obvious. It is immediately obvious. But that said, the discussion on CNN woke up a lot of people to how some people actually think. And to hear, I can't remember the name of the the two Republicans that were on, but to hear how they spoke about the kinds of people that America is all about and the kind of culture that is allowed that should be allowed in America. And I tell you, there were two uh, black. Well, the program was hosted by a black woman and two other black hosts, and I looked at their eyes as these people were talking, and the shock that we saw based on that conversation, in effect, justifying the president's attack on Somalians as being inherently terrible people, and then having to be reminded who was the ringleader of that fraud on the Minnesota system, which was actually a white woman, right? And I really want to put this together because when you have two reputable Republicans speaking the way they spoke, it gives a lot of people not only permission to, but it puts false ideas in their head that keeps prejudice, racism, and all these isms forward. And I sat down and I listened to this piece. And again, like I said, I'm going to prepare it for you for later. And just couldn't believe that these guys had the gall to say these things in public. And it was very civil. It was very civil the way they said it. And that's what made it even more dangerous because it was done in a matter of fact manner. So I'm going to prepare it for you so you don't have to go hunt it down and check it out. Anyway, I am still just at one contribution thus far, my brothers and sisters, and we are still trying to get to $500. I didn't yesterday, though Jimmy did make us whole, but we are still trying to get there. So please go ahead and give us a call at 713-526-5738. You want a Politics and Right t-shirt? Politics and Right t-shirts, $100 contribution. You don't have to do that all at once. You can do it on a monthly basis if you so desire. We also have para ver. We also have, let's see, what else am I talking about? We also have the coffee with Egberto, $250. Consider doing that. I guarantee you have fun. I see my brother is in the chat, Glenn Ryan, who we did the coffee with Egberto, and he enjoyed it. Actually, we did it twice. It's a lot of fun. And we have the $5 a month, $10 a month, or whatever you want to give, right? Let me get to Sandy, and then we'll go on. But I want to give a big salute just before we get to Sandy to let's see that we have a new intern in the house. I want to hear from her if she's willing to just say hi to the crowd. But Sandy, you're on.
Thank you, Egberto. And once again, day number 14 of our fund drive. Thanks to Susan for getting us off the zero. We have about $488 to go to make our goal this morning. We've got two events coming up. Our 56th birthday is on March 1st, and on March 29th, we're going to celebrate that birthday in the form of a crawfish boil. The Zydeco Dots will play. We're in the process of getting a second band out there to the Knights of Columbus facility at 601 East Whitney. This is a Sunday afternoon from 5 p.m. We'll be pinching and peeling crawfish. The suds will be available along with other co-ops. And we hope to have a real good time celebrating our birthday. And you can be there and contribute to the fund drive at the same time. A single ticket, $75. A pair of tickets, $130. All the crawfish you can eat and a good time for our 56th birthday. Also on April 18th on Clear Lake, Nuri, the big bad boss man of the blues, will be hosting Blues Cruise 2. We're going to take a 3-hour boat ride around Clear Lake, out past Kemah and back again. And the blues will be blowing. Nuri will be explaining the music to everybody. There'll be food and drink on that boat ride. The seating there is limited to the capacity of the boat. One ticket for that is $150, a pair $275. Both the events, the crawfish boil and the boat ride, are available for $1 a day pledge, $365. You can break that into monthly amounts, which is $30 and a few pennies a month to satisfy that pledge of support and attend those two events. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. You don't have the $365, that's understandable. You can contribute whatever it is that you would like. A lot of us getting together on these fund drives and reaching the goal allows KPFT to continue as it has for 55 years, 1 week and 4 days at this point. We're just days away from that birthday. 713-526-5738 or kpft.org. Let's get politics done right over the goal this morning and make KPFT strong as we go into the spring months. Now more than ever, we need this, and we don't need no stinking regressive tax. Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. And yeah, you're right, Astadian. I just cannot listen to any of them speak. I know the feeling, so I listen for you. I listen for you. I listen for you. Anyway, folks, as Sandy says, we just have one contribution for the day thus far. We're $488 away from our goal, and I know you want us to make that goal. 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Extension number 1. I see Miss Betty is up. It's like Miss Betty is up next. Let's go to our beautiful Miss Betty. Come on in, Miss Betty. How you doing?
I'm okay. Just fine. Alberto, let me see. Yeah. Trump is trying to be Geronimo. Trump, his speech last night was supposed to be to my fellow American. He said it. Him and his people. He loved. That leaves us out. I want to say this to Harris County, that as big as Harris County is, not donating and giving to you. Harris County, I know you. I am you. I was a hotshot driver for almost 3 years. Train station, bus station, mail station, all the stations, all the rich uptown, all the poor downtown, all the rich outside, all the companies outside, and all the poor, Sunnyside, ward, all the wards. I know you all, and I love you all. The rich, the poor, and the bad. Donate to Alberto. He is your blanket. A little car will charge. Come on. Bye-bye.
Love you, my Betty. I love me some Betty. She has her stuff written. She comes on. She says it. She says, love you. Bye-bye. You go, girl. Thank you so kindly for that. Look, welcome aboard, Cindy, Konali. Welcome aboard. We also have Rosie that just joined us. Asterion is here with us. Don, how you doing, Don? Thank you for being here. Para ver quién más está aquí. Para ver. Oh, Cheryl is putting the link up for the Zoom coffee with Egberto. It's going to be on Friday, the 6th of March at between 7 and 9 p.m. Central Time. And, that coffee is great because you don't even have to be here in Houston. We're doing it over Zoom. I will have not my cup of coffee. You see this big thing here? I think this is like 32 ounces. I drink about 4 of these a day. I love it. I am no longer, what is the word I am, coffee doesn't do anything to me anymore. It's a good thing I love the taste, you know? So, and by the way, I think Sandy has a good coffee that he has. The next time he comes on, he can tell you about that good coffee that we have as a, as a thank you for contributing to the station. So give us a call, 713-526-5738. Extension numero uno, extension number 1. And by the way, Cheryl, like I said, Cheryl has the link in the chat, and I copied it to the other chat as well. Click that link. Let's have that community chat again. So just click that baby and sign up for the chat. Doesn't cost you anything to sign up. Of course, it'd be great if you decide that you want to give a contribution to KPFT. Cheryl went ahead and got that. She contributed such that chat, we'll have to do that. But anyhow, look, I got another important video I want to point out to you, and we'll come right back with this. Here it is, and then I'll get started. I'm trying to set it up as I speak. Here we go. Para ver, comienza, hombre, comienza. Here we go. There is a young man who came on to MS Now talking about something interesting. He said the Republican Party is now the MAGA Party. For those people who are trying to somehow think the Republican Party is going back, it is over. And he come out. This is a MAGA, a guy that used to be MAGA. He came out and he apologized for what he had become with MAGA. He apologized for MAGA because he understood inherently the evil that MAGA represents. I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
What does the future of the Republican Party look like? It depends a lot on who you're asking in the Never Trump movement. Some are considering a new home in the Democratic Party, so not the Republican Party at all, while others are holding out hope for a return to the old GOP, or at least something like it. The issue is Donald Trump. There's Donald Trump and whatever he says on any given day and what he wants, what he believes, the loyalty he demands. And then there's everybody else who doesn't want to be in support of Donald Trump, so they define themselves against what he supports. Rich, let's talk about your opinion on this, because your position, I believe, is a little bit different than the governor's regarding where the party should go and whether the never Trumpers like you remain or do something else. What's your argument?
Oh, Katie, it's good to be with you. Thank you for having me. And I would just like to first, for those meeting me, apologize for my past MAGA activism. When I was in the MAGA community, it was a fantasy of ours to kill off the GOP and transform it into a MAGA party. And I think that has been accomplished and achieved. And I give credit to the Never Trump movement because they saw Donald Trump for who he really was. In my memoir, I go into some of the reasons that I was attracted to the Trump campaign and also some of the reasons why I decided to leave MAGA. And while I don't think I'm quite qualified to give political analysis, something that I would say, and perhaps it's something the governor could relate to, is I think that Republicans and conservatives perhaps have not had their reckoning as to why Donald Trump and MAGA were able to, in such a dominant fashion, seize control of the Republican Party. So as I see our two major parties right now, there is the Democratic Party and then there is the MAGA Party. And as someone who was a Republican in Trump's first administration, I left the party in 2021. I believe that the pre-Trump Republican Party is over. And whether someone who's a Republican should stay in the party or not, that's very much an individual choice. But for me, it was an easy choice to go from Republican to independent, which is how I remain to this day.
And he points out in his memoirs, what brought him to the party and pretty much why he left. And that is so true. Again, the MAGA folks are going. The thinking MAGA folks in the long run are going to come home. When I say come home, I mean they will leave MAGA because eventually it eats them all. Because there's no soul, there's no honor. It is just about regression, and that one cannot exist in that state forever. So, folks, give it some time and keep engaging these people. Eventually, they'll see the light, and the country will be better for it, and would have been better that some would have learned their lessons. Absolutely so. Folks, I still just have one contributor. And I think we're doing better than this. I think we can do better than this. We work hard to make sure that we do our part to maintain our democracy. Can I ask a few to give a call now? Let's get to that $500. I know we can. This is pennies on an individual basis, but it means so much to the station. Please give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1, or go to kpft.org, hit the donate button, select Politics and Rock as a program you want to support, and then give whatever you can, $5 a month, $10 a month, a one-time contribution, whatever you can. Coffee with Egberto, $250, or a t-shirt, $100. We can do this. And I know it's in your hands to do this. Ask you to make a little sacrifice to come on and do it now. Let's go ahead and hear from our beautiful new intern. Come on in, Lily.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lily Zamora. I'm a broadcast journalism major here at the University of Houston. Thank you, KPFT, for allowing me to intern here at this amazing radio station. Excited for this learning experience.
Wow, thank you so kindly, Lily, for being here, especially at this time of the morning. I know it's like, oh my God, I could be doing other things, but you're here. Look, thank you for your commitment, okay?
Of course.
Thank you. Anyway, folks, it looks like we got some calls. I'm going to ask the callers to kind of keep it to like 2 minutes or so, because like I said, we got to do some pitching to get some money in. I hate doing this, guys. But remember, Sandy said, if we make those limits, we're going to be done pretty darn soon. Just a few more days left. Let's go to Michael. Come on in, Michael. Michael?
Good morning. Good morning to everybody out there in radio.
Good morning, brother. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm on my morning drive at Kroger's. I like to see the leotards in the morning. So that's besides the point. I got an issue right now with the BBC, and I hope y'all never have the BBC on this station. This past weekend, Michael B. Jordan and a guest was presenting an award for whatever. I think Screen something. But they were presenting a, and some man with Tourette's, oh boy. I'm not going to go there, but it's something Medea says a lot. The N-word. What I'm mad about BBC is it was a 2-hour delay. And yet they still fit it pleasing to their public to put that out there. So back to the topic, MAGA ain't going nowhere. Racists aren't going nowhere. No use trying to talk to these people after a 2-hour delay. They're still going to use the N-word. And don't please, Sandy, never have BBC on this station. Please, I'm begging you.
Michael, I saw that. I think it's called BAFTA, right?
Pardon me?
Thank you, bro. Michael. Michael, I think it's called BAFTA, right? The organization that Michael B. Jordan was on. I think it was with Lindo as well, Michael Lee. I saw that and I was in shock because here's what I had to say about that, Michael. Yes, this guy has Tourette syndrome. And you say things that just off the top of your head. But what that means is that that word and that association between Michael B. Jordan and stage, and that word was the first that was on the top of his head. And I know he didn't have any control of what it has to say, but I think the one thing I don't think these people did right on the subject, Michael, is they didn't say that is his heart. Because it's like when you get a drunk, right? If you're drunk, you lose all your inhibition, so the real you comes out, right? And and I don't think that the whole story, I think where they fail this story is to show that there's inherent hate within the psyche,
Exactly.
and that is what's important. Now you and you're going to slap me around all the time because, brother, I keep trying, brother. I know you hate it,
I
and
understand.
and you have the right to listen to me, Michael. You have the right to, brother.
BBC found the time to when they said free
Yes.
Palestine.
Yes,
certainly
they
took
cut
that
it out.
Thank
Yes.
you very much. Have a great morning. I'll give you some more money tomorrow on Friday.
Thank you, brother. You have a good one and appreciate it. Let's go to brother Richard. Come on in, Richard. Is this Richard from Montgomery County? Let's see. Richard.
Yes, it is. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Never has it been so obviously true what I said on your show a few episodes ago and what I've been saying for the last 10 years. If you can watch this idiot get on the screen and make a complete idiot out of himself and not think he's an idiot, you're an idiot. But more important than that, you're talking about his obsession with tariffs. Forget that. How about his obsession with blood? Huh? How about his obsession with blood? Oh, my goodness. I was left speechless over his obsession, his obvious enjoyment of talking about blood dripping and flowing and squirting and everything.
Yeah.
All I could think of was, oh, my God, that poor Megyn Kelly.
Oh, yes, you remember he did that with her on one of the debates. I forgot about that, Richard. You're still right about that. Yeah. But anyway, anything else real quick, Richard?
No, I'm going to get off and let somebody else get on. Thanks, man.
Thank you, brother. You have a good one. Thanks for calling. Let's go to Augie. Augie, go ahead, my brother.
Last night was the Democratic response with the Virginia governor. And it looks like Virginia got themselves a great governor. Which
oh, yes. I like her.
And Richards. Hopefully we can get a great governor one of these elections. And another thing was last night he gave out 2 Congressional Medal of Honors to 2 veterans. Normally that's given at the White House, not at State of the Union.
Right.
And it was given by a cowardly draft dodger, a guy who said he thinks active duty military people are suckers and losers, and he hates prisoners of war.
Yeah.
And he insulted Gold Star family. I don't know if people know about that. The Gold Star family is somebody who has lost a child.
Lost somebody, yeah.
Yeah, and but to him to give a Medal of Honor on the State of the Union when he's all these things was something else. But
it's crazy.
I happened to do it, and I saw it on MS Now, which did a pretty good talk about.
I thought I was flipping between the two. I have 2 screens that I'm always watching like 3 or 4 channels at the same time, and I think MS Now and CNN I think did a great job. So absolutely so.
Yeah.
But hey, I need to move on because we have to raise some money, and at the same time 4 callers are on. So let me go to Jimmy, and then thank you very much, Augie. We'll talk, my brother. Let's go to Jimmy. Come on in, Jimmy. And before you start talking, Jimmy, I want to tell you thank you for such a kind contributions that you provided in the name of politics done right, brother. KPFT could not exist without people like you, Jimmy. All right?
Thank you, Egberto. I'm glad to support KPFT. Y'all are doing a great job of spreading the word around our country and around the nation about good deeds and so forth. I watched Trump's 2-hour bloviation last night, and I was glad to see Representative Al Green there carrying a sign that said, "Blacks
Yes.
are not apes."
Yes.
That was an attack on Trump. They made him believe, the audience, apparently. But yeah, Trump likes to lie a lot and build himself up. And he said there would never have been a war against Ukraine by Russia if he had been president. That's
Lord.
a big fat lie right there. And he also had said that tariffs are the best word in our vocabulary. That's his favorite word in our vocabulary. And I'm really glad the Supreme Court knocked him down on that, and I'm still amazed that 3 members of the Supreme Court voted to let him continue as a one-man tariff.
Which is what he is, but
putting tariff wherever he wants to.
hey, Jimmy, this show is your show. You call in anytime, but I'm running out of time. Have a lot of callers, so let's talk tomorrow, okay?
Sure. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Good work, Alberto.
Thank you very much for what you do. Let's go to Delilah. Come on in, Delilah, line 4.
Good morning, Egberto. I know you backed up, so I'm gonna be real quick. 2 things. Number one, he talked about deporting undocumented workers. He's not deporting those workers. They're going all over the states, buying warehouses to house those human beings in, and the conditions are deplorable. That's number one. And number 2, and I want you to talk a little bit about that as well. And number 2, the guy talked about the Republican Party, that clip that you played. In my opinion, I think that we're going to go back to the traditional Republican Party because they've always been fractured. Remember, they were the Tea Party, the Freedom Caucus, and the traditional Republicans. And I think we'll go back after this Trump wave is over because those Democrats are going to take their time, and many of them are going to retire and go to jail because they're going to go back over all of those Senate investigations and catch them in lies. It's going to be terrible for them. So I think after all this is over, because the Democrats are going to get them, I have no doubt in my mind, many of them are going to go to jail, and the Epstein files are going to come out unredacted.
Fully.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
For your time. Bye.
Thank you so kindly, Delilah. Okay, folks, I have 3 calls, but I've got to hold on those to do a little pitch in here. Please, folks, I still only have 1 contributor. 1. We can do better. We give you value. We do the job. Please give a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Please invest in in something that's doing the right thing. Please invest. Sandy?
You're hot.
Thank you, Egberto. For those of you listening, day 14, we've been at this for a couple of weeks now. And for those of you that listen regularly, you've heard us explain many, many reasons why you should contribute to this radio station. The number 1 reason is you listen. And as a listener, and you're part of the listener community, we all get together, all of us, I hope, and do our part. Some of us cannot contribute. Some of us have to pick up the slack for others that cannot, so that those folks that are not in a position to contribute can keep on listening and participating in community radio. It's important that we have this. Our number is 713-526-5738. I'm hopeful that those of you that have not yet made a contribution this last drive, maybe have never made a contribution. It takes a while for people to listen and determine that, yeah, I'll throw a few bucks their way. And oftentimes people will make a pledge and then they'll come back and make another one. And after a while, they're regular contributors. And that's really of great value to all of us, and that it allows us to continue. It isn't cheap running this radio station. It costs listeners about $60,000 a month, and that number, as staggering as it is on the cheap. Our next Pacifica neighbor is spending about $100,000 a month. We're doing everything we can do to keep this radio station. Every day is a struggle paying the bills. We're very careful with what we spend money on. There are things we need to do that until we're absolutely sure we can afford it, we have not done. It would be great to complete a number of projects, harden the signal, and make sure that when we pass this station forward um, to others to operate, to get behind the mic, that it's there and operating in good condition, and a lot of people are interested. Now, look, if you haven't made that pledge, please consider that this morning. 713-526-5738 or kpft.org. Throw $5 a month down. $5 a month on a sustaining basis. 10 of you doing that this morning speaks very loudly and makes the goal. $5 a month. What are you going to do with that $5 bill? I got a buddy that, he's single and wanted to find a partner. And he signed up for a dating service that cost $10 a month. And he used that for a period of time and started dating. And, well, it didn't turn out so good. In fact, it led to great trouble. And I asked him, that $10, if you gave that to KPFT, you wouldn't feel so miserable right now. And, well, he agreed. And now he's a sustainer. Give up something that hurts you. Give up the Happy Meal. Give up the excess, just once a month, $5, maybe a coffee, maybe a burger through the drive-through, and throw it our way. You'll feel good. And you won't meet the wrong people on a dating service either. 713-526-5738 or kpft.org. We rely on you. So, Susan, thank you. The only contributor. We're $488 away, people. Help us close this gap before the end of the program this morning and get Wednesday off to a wonderful start. Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. Yeah, and you know what Sandy says is so true, but let me just say something else, guys. It's an investment in something that you have control over. There is no other station, or rarely you find a station where you have interaction with the station, with the host proper. You give it direction. I mean, when you become a donor, every single donor that has given thus far becomes a member of the family. Becomes, and I think if it's over 25 or $40, I don't remember which one it is, you become a voting member because this is a community. You become a voting member, and I don't care where you are in this country, you are a voting member of KPFT, having had made those contributions. You make a difference. You have involvement. You give also direction. You have skin in the game. When we complain about what's happening in the country, when we complain about how can those MAGA folks think the way that they do, well, it's what kind of source of information folks are getting. I have a lot of MAGA in my chat, and they've been programmed elsewhere, but they stay here because they feel they have an environment, even though disagreeable with them, that they have agency here as well. In fact, some of the donors that have given are actually MAGA donors. And brother Michael, that's what I mean. There are some of these guys that are here. Look, you're right, Michael, about some folks are immutable. They'll never ever change. You are absolutely right about that. But there are some that are on the fence. There are some that want to listen. There are some that are ready to hear. They're ready to listen. I am ready to listen. I'm ready to listen to what make other people tick. And that's what makes us different from many others. So I want to give before I go back to the phones, I want to go ahead and ask you, please, as I answer these phones, please use this time to give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Remember, this isn't for me. This is for KPFT. This is for the project. This is for, look, you're supporting politics done right. You're supporting other, what this station does, from food drives to educational programs to political programs to keeping people engaged, to keeping people informed. Once you give here, you are a part of the family doing that. The other side has the Koch. They have the Koch brothers and billionaires. We have you $5 at a time, $10 at a time, $100 T-shirt or a $250 breakfast. Please give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension 1, or go to kpft.org, hit that donate button. Brother Johnny, come on in, sir.
Yeah, a big grizzly furry bear with a dry sense of humor. That's what I felt like listening to Sandy when he was relaying that story of his friend with the $10 a month. Unfortunately, I've got some cautionary news.
Yes.
Yesterday, or the day, no, it was yesterday morning on Tom Hartman, he interviewed a guy named Miles Taylor. Who,
I know him. I interviewed him before. Yeah.
Yeah, is a former MAGA guy under the Trump administration. And so I recommended going to his site to watch their defiance.org presentation in real time instead of Donald Trump. And I regret doing that. I found their presentation to be lackluster, uninspired, and when I went to his website, everything that you want to do costs money. And I saw some of his videos, and he is going to have the help of people like Stephanie Miller, who's a big centrist Democrat, as you probably know. And he is all about bait and switch, I believe. That's my suspicion right now. Just like No Labels was. Remember how No Labels turned out to be bait and switch?
Yeah.
And that's what I think's going on now. He is the camel's nose in the Democratic Party tent. And I have a big feeling, a sickening feeling, that he and others are going to turn the Democratic Party further to the right than it should be.
Well, let me just tell you, Johnny.
I want to urge people not to support his defiance, but support Indivisible and the environmental movement, the Sunrise Movement.
Right.
Support. Put your financial support to the not defiance, but towards Indivisible, KPFT, and long-term, reliable, provable.
Yeah, Johnny, I want to interrupt you because I don't have a lot of time, but I want to tell the audience something that is very important because Substack is this new platform that all the fired journalists and all the fired folks have been going to, right? And they build in their platforms there. And you just said a magical thing. If you go to the Substack platform, you see all these big stars that are coming to Substack right now, and they're gobbling up a whole lot of new members, etc. And these new members, everything that they provide there, you have to pay for, right? So, yours truly on Substack, I finally said, we are trying to change the world. We're trying to educate people. We're trying to get people to do the right thing. How can you do that if in order to get all these newsletters and all these things, you have to pay? The chat that I have open on Substack right now, if you go to the new stars that have come to Substack right now, to be in their chat, you have to pay. I get exactly what you're saying. No, I believe if you're really into this, look, you have to live, you have to survive. But these guys left where they came from with golden parachutes. And to come down here and start charging our people monies to even chat or to read an article that you purport is necessary for them to know educationally, I think it's absolutely wrong. You nailed it. Okay, Johnny, I gotta go.
Real quickly, his excuses why he changed were flimsy. I'll leave it at
that. All right, thank you, Johnny. Let's go to Bruce. Bruce, can you do it for me in about 30 seconds? Bruce, can you do it for me in 30 seconds?
Yeah. I was going to call about the tax, but you beat me to it. I want to say that when you mentioned that the true person comes out when they're drunk, I want to take exception to that. Everybody's had unclean thoughts, and we use a self-regulator to say that goes in the trash can, delete. I wanted to punch my boss, knock his teeth out. I throw that idea in the trash can because I'm a critical thinker. Now, if I was drinking tequila and wild turkey and he said something to make me mad and I punched him, that wouldn't be the true me. I'm nonviolent. So I say it simply disables the self-regulating system that we all have. I'm done.
Thank you very much for that, Bruce. Some other time we'll go into that in more detail, and I'd like to hear more from you on that. Let's go to tag. 30-second tags.
Yep. just wanted to call Trump's speech last night what it really was, is a dog and pony show.
Mm-hmm.
For example, bringing out the men's hockey team, what has Trump done for the Olympics at all? Nothing. And then he brings out the Olympic team to try to garner votes. I mean, that is blatant dog and pony show, and I was upset by it. But the other thing is that when he came out and said that he's brought inflation down to 1.7%, I mean, it's like just the lies. So that's what I had to say. Thanks, Egberto.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Okay, folks, let me just say this, okay? Look, we just got another contribution. Augie, thank you so kindly. Augie, and I'm going to just say the number because I want to expand on Augie here a bit. Augie sees that I'm having issues this morning raising capital for the station. We had a $12 contribution. I appreciate that to the depths of my heart from Susan, and he comes and he immediately says, I'm going to take it down to half. And he provides $250. Let me tell you something about that Augie guy that just called in. He is a constancy at this station, and every single time. This is KPFT Houston. Had to give a station ID at the turn of the clock. We're going to go over by about what, Sandy? About 5-7 minutes or so. Anyway, Augie saw me having problems right here. He just called in, and I just see it pop up on the screen, $250. This is a perennial giver to the station and supporter of all of us that are listening out there. I just felt necessary to say that and ask others to help make us whole. We can't put it all on the back of one person. Augie, thank you so kindly, my brother. Sandy.
Thank you, Egberto. I got another friend that, he likes beer. And the store on the corner had a 24-pack for $10. And liking beer and noting the good price, my friend started going down to that store once a day and buying that 24-pack and drinking those 24 cans of beer. Didn't feel so good after a couple days, and after 2 weeks had gained 30 pounds. I said to him, that beer is making you fat and you don't feel good. What happens if you give that $10 to KPFT instead? He tried it. He's running marathons now, and, well, he's very happy. The bottom line is give up one of those brews at the bar, a couple of them, and throw that money KPFT's way, and you too can feel good about the whole thing. Folks, we're halfway to the goal. Two people doing $10 a month. We're at the goal. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. This station runs on listener support. That's it, period, bottom line. About 95% of the money that we need comes from the listeners. This audience in the morning has been very generous, and I thank everybody that's made these contributions to date. But if you're one of those folks that hasn't done that, perhaps you're staring at the ad in the paper for the beer special, think about it. Think about what you get out of this station. It's unique. It's alone in the media landscape in Houston, maybe in the entire country, for the way we're doing radio with 3 HD channels and 100,000 watts, and local your friends and neighbors from the area providing the horsepower behind the microphone, the content, like Egberto, who works his tail off doing this show. Honor that commitment, folks. Honor that commitment. This is your opportunity to step up and join in the unbroken chain of 55 years, 51 weeks, and a few days now. Unbroken chain. 1970, we went on the air asking for money to continue so we can get to the next day. And it happened. And it kept happening, and it brings us to today, and you're hearing our voices because of that long line of listeners that have stepped up and donated. Augie, thank you for everything you do. Outside of giving money, Augie does so much more for this radio station. Volunteers for our events, helps us with those, helps us to call lapsed donors and other work that needs to be done. Thank you, Augie, for all you do. Come on, Get on board with us here. 713-526-5738 or kpft.org. Two $10 a month sustainers is what we need. Egberto, back to you. Thank you for
Thank you.
what you do.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. And look, tomorrow I'm bringing in Congressman Christian Menifee. He will be on tomorrow. So, I mean, it's a constancy of making sure you're informed. It's a constancy of making sure you're informed. So please join Augie. Please join Susan. And and go ahead and call 713-526-5738 extension 1 or go to kpft.org, hit that donate button, select Politics Done Right as the show so it's credited appropriately, and give whatever you can, whether it's a sustainer, a one time, a t shirt, whatever. Please support what we're doing. I'm going to throw it to the station so that they can give us some closing thoughts. And I'd love to hear a little closing thought from our latest and most new intern if she wants to. Studio.
Hey, Berto. This weekend, I'm going to be out on the lawn helping with the Manna Food Drive and KPFT's community effort to help the food drive. I'll be out there, taking donations. So get your shelf safe, non-perishable items. Drive by the studio. I'll pick them up and put them in a box, and I'll put a sticker on your car. I'll kiss your babies and your dogs. And maybe Sunday being our birthday, we will have maybe some birthday cake. So come on by and help the Manna Food Bank. And here's our new intern, Miss Lily.
Say something.
Hi.
Well,
Hey,
you know
so
what, Lily? Before you go, Mayana, let me just ask Lily something real quick. And I know I'm out of time, but I just want to ask you, Lily, what brought you to KPFT?
I've always been interested in broadcast news, all sorts, whether it's on TV or podcasts or radio stations, and I just wanted a feel for the radio station aspect. I was very interested, so I just wanted
Well,
to learn.
well, thank you very much, and we love having you here, Mayana.
Uh, well, I'm just gonna let her end with that. But I was really happy that the other person called up about the Michael B. Jordan thing because I didn't know that. So I appreciate that. Thanks.
Well, look, folks, Sandy gonna kick me out of here for staying another 2 minutes or so. So let me just say, please, you can still go ahead and call now, 713-526-5738, extension number 1, or go to kpft.org, hit the donate button, select Politics Done Right as a program you're supporting, do whatever you can. You know, I love you all. Our Substack chat, you guys have been wonderful. Our other chat, you guys have been wonderful. Love you all. My name is Egberto Willis. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out.